Good evening, everyone. We are going to start our webinar, so I hope you're ready to rock NMT preparation with me today. And the topic for today will be transport and prepositions of place. But before we start, as usual, please let me know in the chat how you feel, how was your day, and tell me please what did you do today to prepare for NMT, except of course watching our webinar today. I can see already 2 active girls, so hello. So did you do anything to prepare for NMT? Maybe you read a text or you watched some video, anything. Okay, then I will read your answers later, and we are going to start with you with our main topic. So, tell me please, what transport do you know in English? Any means of transport that you remember? Okay, Julia, lots of phrasal verbs didn't want to go into my head. Okay, it's clear. Okay. So, when we are talking about transport, I'm sure that you know that there is a car, a plane, a boat, bus, yacht, scooter, van. So you know a lot of them. I can see lorry. Yes, Julia. So we know a lot of them. So today we are going just to revise all of these words and work with them more. So now I can see one more sentence, one more answer. So Ira, okay. So get well. Plane, ship, bus, motorbike, bicycle. Yeah. So you know a lot of them, and we are going to start. So now I will show you different pictures with different means of transport. We are going to work like row by row. So now we are going to start with the first word, and tell me please, what is it? Okay, good. It is a bus. Or as Ira said, school bus. Yeah, it's possible. What about number 2? Everybody thinks it's a school bus. Okay. What about number 2? Okay, good. It's a train. Nice. Number 3. Okay, it's okay. Number 2 is a bike or bicycle. Okay, good. Number 4. It's a plane. Good job. Number 5. we have a lot of people that are active. Nice. I really like that you're active. Okay, that is a boat. Next. Okay, lorry I can see, or truck. So pay attention to this one. Next, tell me please, what is it? Good. Motorcycle. Next. Yeah, it is also possible to say motorbike. It's a sheep, you think? And that is true. What about next one? Okay, we will discuss the difference between different types of transport a little bit later. Yeah, next is submarine. What about the next? Good. Helicopter. Nice. And next. Okay, that is a van. Good job. Next. I think it's easy. It's a taxi. Good. Next. Okay, rocket. Good job. Next. Good. Okay, that is a tram. Good job. Next, please. Okay, it's tractor. Good. Next. Good. Skateboard. Next. What do we call a large ship? Cruise liner. Actually, it's a ferry. We will also discuss like what is the difference between ship and ferry today. So please listen carefully. Next one. Any ideas what it is? we usually call it, we usually use this word when we talk about shopping, online shopping. Any ideas? Yeah, it's a cart. Good job. With. Okay, next. Next will be roller skates. And this one is okay, hot air balloon, and the last is so what is the last? It is a Segway. So now we just revised with you all the words, like checked how well you know all these words, and as you can see, we all of these words, so that is nice. And let's sum up all the words and how we use them in the tests and why we need to revise them. So when we are talking about transport, what we need to remember that when we have with you transport, for example, I go somewhere, you need to have the preposition by. I go by bus, I go by car, I go by train. So there you need to use the preposition by. But if you are talking about some types of transports that you kind of like go on it, сидячи на ньому верхи, we will use ride something. Ride a Segway, ride a bike, ride a motorbike. So there, in this case, we use ride instead of go by. And one more exception that we have, it is the word food. I remember that you said, like somebody said about food, that we need to go on foot. Don't forget that we don't use this by foot, we use on foot. Тож, перед транспортом ми ставимо by, якщо ми подорожуємо, by bus, by train. Якщо ми сидимо на верхи на цьому транспорті, ми кажемо ride щось. And якщо ми вживаємо ми йдемо пішки, we say on foot. So, that is like the main rule that you need to remember for the test. Because I'm not sure that you will have the words, but for you to revise them, it was useful just to check how well your knowledge is. And you can see that when we had the previous task, we had 3 words: boat, ferry, and yacht. What is the difference between these 3 vehicles? Because sometimes you may be confused because of them. So here we can understand that boat is a small vehicle. Це якесь маленьке судно, тобто найчастіше воно з веслами, найпростіше судно. So it's a boat. Ferry, it is a vehicle that delivers, that carries passengers or cargo, вантаж. It's like паром. Ми перевозимо машини, перевозимо людей на паромі, будь-який вантаж. And yacht, it's, I think you know, it's яхта. So it is a boat used for either racing or traveling. So here are the main differences. Boat, it's small. Ferry, it's a big, kind of like transport vehicle. And yacht, it's a boat for pleasure. So now you can see the main differences. And for us to work more with the word that we revised, I want us to make the first task. There, I prepared for you different sentences, and you need to understand what transport you should write there. Sometimes there can be a lack of context, so it's okay if you have plenty of options, just for us to check what you know and what options we can have. So let's start with the first sentence. And here we have, I usually go to work by my, I hate using public transport. Okay, I can see a question about learning the words. During reading, you need to focus more on context, because sometimes you may not know all the words, but you may understand the main concept of it. That's why you need to work like both with texts and with reading, like with vocabulary. Sometimes, like usually, at NMT we have words that are similar in the meaning. Тобто для НМТ вам достатньо знайти якісь слова, ось, наприклад, boat, ferry, yacht. Це слова, які, в принципі, говорять нам про якесь судно морське, але ми не знаємо в ньому різниці. Тобто ви маєте більше вивчати слів, які схожі за значенням, якісь confusing words, для того, щоб пропрацювати їх, щоб зрозуміти їхню різницю. Всіх слів, звичайно, не вивчиш. Окей. I can see your answers. In the first one, you have bicycle, car, bike, motorbike, Segway. Yeah, so I chose car, but your options are absolutely correct. What about number 2? My car will be delivered by, delivery by sea is cheaper than by sky. Okay, Julia, thank you. Okay, that is a ferry. Good. What about number 3? During our vacation, we took to visit the islands. And the person who asked me the question, today I hope we will have enough time to read a text, and you need to tell me whether you have some problems with understanding some words or you can catch the main idea. Okay, number 3 is yacht. Okay, good job. Number 4. She enjoys flying in air because it's faster than driving. Okay, good. In a plane. Or in a helicopter, yeah, also possible. Okay, next. I couldn't catch a bus, so I had to call way to call taxi. Good job. The fastest way to cross the river is by... boat. So here, when we don't have any context, yeah, you need to use the easiest variant, the most general one. So by boat, don't say by ship, by I don't know, ferry, and etc. Just something like easy. Okay, because ship is mostly used when we talk about long distances. It's корабль. But here we just have cross the river. That's why we don't need a ship to cross the river. Okay, next. When he was a child, he used to ride his to school every day. Okay, good. Yeah, it is a bike. And the last, they explored the underwater world traveling by... Okay, submarine. Good. And also you had a question about lorry and truck. So lorry and truck are the same things, but lorry is used in British English, truck is used in American English. Because I forgot to explain this difference to you. Okay, good. So now we can take a look at the next three words. So as I said before, sometimes at NMT we have the same words, but they have slight difference in meaning. And these words are transport, vehicle, and vessel. So transport, it is a general term that can describe the vehicles. My favorite type of transport is public transport is. So there we just talk about all, like the system of all vehicles in, I don't know, in the city. Vehicle is used to describe only one vehicle, like only one machine, yeah? Only one car, only one plane. So it is just any motorized machine that is designed to carry people or some cargo from one place to another. And vessel, it can be like a new word for you. It's a ship that is designed to carry people or goods on water. So vessels can be boats, ships, ferries, yachts. So these are just transport on water. And here we can see, yeah, Julia, that is correct. Only on water transport. And here we can say examples. Public transport is efficient in the city. He parked his vehicle in the garage, and the vessel sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. So, now I want us to move on to the next topic. And we will have with you the topic of prepositions of place. Why do you need them in NMT? Because sometimes you may have different prepositions. For example, let it be the sentence, I looked at the sky and could see an amazing view, a gap, the mountains. And we need to say over, around, in front of, or for example, behind mountains. So you need just to remember the prepositions that can be used just in English to remember their meanings and where are like these things are located. So we are going to revise them very quickly, and let's take a look at the first. And what preposition can it be? Okay, that is in. Good. Next. This one. Okay, and do you remember what is the difference between inside and in? Number 2 is on. Okay. Because inside, it's when we have like the direction where we put it. For example, I put my keys inside the pocket, like I did it like that. It is not a state location, but I had some movement inside something. Okay, number 3, I can see that it is under. Good. Number 4, when we have something like that. Good. Next to. Pay attention that we need to use next to, not just I am sitting next Max. No, I am sitting next to Max. Next we have is, yeah, here we have behind. Absolutely right. Okay, nearby. Pay attention that, here I can see the word nearby. Nearby, it means поблизу. So, for example, I have a shop nearby. So, after nearby, we don't use any word. Or we have, I have a shop next to my home, next to my house. So, after next to, we need to use some object. Okay, I can see in front of, and that is absolutely correct. And the last is, okay, and the last is between. And I can see the answer from Ivan. It is Eman. Eman, it's серед. For example, I am the shortest among my friends. Я найнижча серед моїх друзів. Okay. The same. Julia, if we have with you inter, we the same have the same as I explained with inside. I put something into my pocket. The same as onto. When we have this two, it means some direction of this word. I put, like, let it be. I don't know. He put his book onto the table. So it's about movement of the of this object. So it's not just like static position. No, I put my glass onto my hand, or just like something like that. Okay, but I'm not sure that you will have them at NMT. I haven't seen such words at NMT. So we are going to move on, and now you already have the words that you need to put, but like in the context. Let's work with the first word, and here we have my English book is. You need to write this word, my backpack. Good. Where is my phone? It's... It's on your bed. Good. My desk is... next to the bunk bed. Put this armchair, our TV. In front of. I also pay your attention to the preposition after in front. Not in front for, in front with, in front of. Number 5. Okay, between. Number 6 is... I can see one answer and behind. Good. Okay, good job, guys. We are returning to the topic of our transport, our transportation, and also I want us to talk more about traveling, because sometimes traveling is related to the transportation. Thank you, Julia. And when we talk about the word arrive, it is really very interesting, as most students say, I arrived to the airport, or I arrived to Italy. Pay your attention that arrive isn't used with to. We can have only 3 variants that are possible with the word arrive. These are arrive in, arrive on, and arrive at. And let's check how we easily can remember them. When we talk about arrive in, we need to use it when we talk about cities and countries. So they arrived in Spain last week. Has she arrived in London yet? So there we are talking about something big. You can just remember it is a city or country. When we are talking about arrive on, we need to use arrive on when we speak only about islands. So if you have something instead of island, you need to use in or at, but not on. And the last, it is arrive at. It is the most common one because there we are talking about buildings or parts of buildings. They were the last to arrive at school. Or Julia will arrive at the airport at 5 o'clock. Тобто запам'ятаємо, in вживаємо для міст та країн, at вживаємо для будівель, і on лише для островів. I think it is easy. Good. Move. No, arrive to, we just don't use. Move to. I can go to. We can use I can go to. Okay, I actually can't really understand your question. What do you mean? But remember that arrive we use we can't use with to at all. We use it or with in, or with on, or with at. So, Julia, did I answer your question? Because I really can't. If we are talking about the word arrive, we don't say to. But if we have move, when we have come, when we have, for example, go, travel, we can use it. But when we talk about this, like this exact word, we can't say it. Okay, good. Then now we are going to move on, and you will have an easy task. You need just to use in, on, or at. Let's start with the first one. And here we have, we will arrive London at 6 a.m. tomorrow. In London, on London, or at London. Okay, good. Number 2, she will arrive at the airport early to avoid the crowds. Arrive at, good. The bus will arrive at the bus station soon. Okay, good. They will arrive at the city center by noon. Pay your attention that here we have city center, not a part of building. Okay, yeah. Here, pay attention that we need to use in, as there the main point here is city. Just remember that we need to use arrive in the city center, because there it's kind of like we are referring to the city, not to the part of some building or just a building. Okay, number 5. The train will arrive the platform in a few minutes. Okay, yeah, sometimes here we want to say the train will arrive on the platform, because in Ukrainian we say прибувати на платформу, but in English it will be at the platform. Okay, number 6. We will arrive New York later this afternoon. Good. She is expected to arrive at the hotel this evening. Okay, good. They finally arrived the island after a long journey. Okay, that will be on. So they finally arrived on the island. And the last. Okay, and the last is at. So in we use with cities and countries, at we use when we're talking about buildings or part of the buildings. And the last that we have, it is on that we use with islands. Good job. But of course, that was the case with in, on, and at when we are talking about arrive. But when we just talk with you about just words, just locations, geographical locations, we also need to remember that there are three main circles that we need to remember. You need to have this kind of like triangle, because why you need like this kind of like visualization, as when we are talking about big cities or big countries or something general, we need to use with you in. So it was our main stage. After that, when we are moving to smaller parts, when we are talking about avenues, streets, maybe some parts, we need to use on. And at we use when we are talking about some addresses or places. So hospital, school, and etc. So there, we need to talk about country, cities in, streets, avenues on, and at it is addresses and stores, or like some places. Now, I want us to talk more about that, and your task is to fill in the gaps with in, on, and at. Зараз ви маєте поставити в правильну форму in, on, at в речення. Because I can see that someone doesn't understand. So let's work right now together. Let's start with the wow, you already wrote all the answers. So number 1, what is it? Okay, number 1 is in, because we are talking about country. Number 2, it is at. Good job. Because we are talking about place. Number 3, the store is located Main Street. On Main Street, because we are just talking about street, not address. If we had on Main Street 2, you will say at, or but here we don't have like the specification of the word. That's why we just need to use on. They built their house the hillside, overlooking the ocean. What about hillside? What is it? At. Actually, it is on, because it is like literally we have house on some place. It is not like a place like that we have like a specific place. No, it's just some general hillside that we have. Yeah, it is пагорб, That's why we don't need to have... І ми його на пагорбі робимо. Ми не вказуємо, який чітко цей пагорб був. Якби був якесь чітко визначене місце, тоді ми б сказали at. Якщо ми говоримо просто про якусь місцевість, ми не вживаємо. We can say on the field, I don't know, on sand, on the beach, but don't say at. Okay, number 5. He was born Tokyo, but moved to the countryside as a child. So here Julia asked about moved to. So here you can say moved to. We can use it. Moved in. Number 6. She is waiting for us. At the airport. We are spending our vacation the island on the island. And the last, we will meet at the entrance of the museum. So there we have specification of the place. At the entrance of the museum. Okay, good job. And if I'm not mistaken, also some of you said about difference of meaning when we are talking, for example, in school or at school. Now I want us to check these rules and talk about two words that are school and hospital. Sometimes when we are talking about these words, we may use I am studying at school, or I am at school or I am in school right now. What is the main difference between these two phrases? When we are talking about the phrase at school, when we use at, we want to talk about the location and physical presence at this place. For example, she is at school right now. It means that she is physically present at the school. So she is not like somewhere. She is just like sitting in the building of the school. But in school means that we are in the participation in the school system. For example, he is still in school. It means that he is still a student and he is receiving education. Ми, наприклад, кажемо «я в школі». Ми можемо казати «я в школі навчаюся», ще досі, наприклад. Або я можу сказати, що я зараз в школі фізично сиджу. So at school, коли ми фізично там знаходимося. In school – це коли ми хочемо сказати про нашу educational, освітню частину, про нашу освіту. Що я зараз навчаюсь в школі. The same with hospital. When we talk about in hospital, it means that you are in this process. You are, for example, receiving some care, you have some, I don't know, injury, and you are in hospital and you're a patient in this hospital. So when we are a patient, when we are patients, we use in school, in hospital. But when you want to see somebody at this place, you need to use at hospital. So you need to either visit somebody or work. So she's at hospital visiting her friend. So, is she a patient? No. She just wants to see her friend. Тож, in hospital – пацієнти, at hospital – відвідувачі. We won't have like one more task for that. But I want to sum up the topic of transport, the topic of prepositions right now, and have with you a small reading task. Зараз ми будемо читати тексти. Your task is to remember how we work with them. First of all, we will have with you a test. Like, we will have 5 questions that you need to answer. When we have such types of texts at NMT, what we are firstly doing? Що ми спочатку робимо, коли бачимо таке завдання на НМТ? Коли у нас є текст великий і питання з відповідями. First of all, we need to read the questions. We need to read the questions. So now you need to take some time to read the questions. After that, you are reading the text and understand the main idea. So for you to understand what we have, to understand what does the author want to say to us. Тому що зазвичай, наприклад, чому треба спочатку прочитати загально, а не читати одразу, шукати відповіді. Тому що в НМТ часто бувають останні питання, коли ми говоримо, наприклад, яка була головна ідея тексту, або що нам хотів сказати цим текстом автор. Коли ви читаєте все по кусочкам, ви не можете його скласти в один пазлик. А ви спочатку його прочитали, ви зрозуміли головну ідею, і потім вже нашаровуєте ваші відповіді на цю ідею. І потім ви просто шукаєте відповіді на питання. But of course, it may not be so easy to find the answers. Sometimes the texts are difficult, sometimes the texts are easier. When you work with such texts, your task is to find synonyms or rephrased phrases. Часто у нас можуть бути якісь синоніми, які якби нас заплутають, але насправді, якщо в них поглибитись, можна легко знайти відповідь. So right now, I will give you time to read the text, and then we will check our answers. Let's have with you 2 minutes to read, and then you will answer. So, give me some reactions when you are ready. And answer my first question. What was this text about? About the history of cars, about advantages of the cars, or about the problems that we can have with cars. Okay, so Now I will show you the questions. You can take a photo if you need. And the first question was, who invented the first gasoline-powered automobile? I will just read the question from my screen and we will answer. Okay, so you think it's Carl Benz. Good job. Then tell me please, when did cars become more affordable? So affordable means that people could afford it. So it was easier for them to buy it. So there you can see that, yeah, it is very clear when it happened, in the early 90s. Okay. Yeah, sure. So here it was easier, an easy text. At test you could see like more difficult. Okay. What happened to car sales during the Great Depression? Okay, and decline means they increased or decreased? Okay, Ira, thank you. The sales dropped down. And tell me please, what became more common in cars during 50s and 60s? What features were common? Okay, and the last question, can cars be driven by, can cars drive themselves? So there you need to pay your attention that it will allow cars to drive themselves, but for now they are just being developed. We don't have cars that can drive themselves. So pay attention sometimes to the details. And that will be all for today. This time we talked with you about prepositions of place. Next time we are going to talk more about prepositions of time. So in on at will return to you the next time. And we are going to talk more about jobs and some words related to them. So thank you that you were with me today, and wish you good evening. So see you.